Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my platform. Those of you that are returning and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So I hope everybody's had a good day, okay? Wherever you guys are in the world, God bless you guys. Please know that my readings are timeless, so whenever you get to this reading, there's going to be messages in here for you. Okay, I suggest that you watch all of the readings on both of my platforms. I have this platform, and I have another platform called the Psychic Tarot Angel Oracle. On my second platform, we're working to getting to 1,000 subscribers. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, then I can monetize the channel and I can start to receive $20 super chats. But on this platform, if you guys have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question and I will pause the collective reading and I will answer your question, okay? So if you guys could like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps this platform. Share this content, tell other people about it, okay? You guys could do that. I would really greatly appreciate it and it would really help this platform. So keep that in mind. Also, let other people know that you know a legit psychic that will help them with their issues, with whatever it is that's going on. So yeah, just know that if you have any personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question. I'll pause the collective reading and I'll answer your question. Okay, so we are going to start off with the prayer. We're calling upon the Most High God, the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, the Ascended Masters. We're calling upon the saints, the Ophanim, the angels, our guardian angels, the archangels, and our spirit guides and our ancestors. I don't know if I said ancestors twice, but we're just asking that they put a protective shield around us, keeping us safe from all negative interference or influence, and keeping us safe from anyone or anything that would try to negatively impact or influence this reading in any way. I pray for the highest light, the highest wisdom, the highest knowledge, and the highest truth to be revealed to me and my collective, and I pray for my subscribers. So now as I call upon your personal favor, God, please continue to bless and prosper this platform. Please continue to bless and prosper me. And please continue to keep us safe and protect us. In your holy name, Lord my God, I give gratitude and thanks. I pray into thy holy presence and I meditate upon your divine will. Amen. Okay, so, and thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All glory, honor, worship, and praise goes to the Most High for this platform, for everything that I do. Confirmation. Amen. Okay, I'm good. I hope you guys are having a good day as well. So by watching my readings, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my readings, you are agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me for my calling. This contract includes no bullying or attacking anybody in the chat or anybody in the comments. Okay, it's nobody's job to be religiously condemning anybody else or judging anybody else. And everybody is allowed to have their own perspective, their own point of view. Like that's, you know, that's verbatim. So we're not condemning anybody over here. And if you do that, I will remove you from the platform. All right, you guys, let's get the likes up. We got 17 people watching and 5 likes on the video. Let's get the likes up. I'm from the USA. Well, actually, my family's from Africa, but, you know, I live in the USA. Uzbekistan. I've never heard of that. Wow, nice. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about 2 books before we get into the reading. The first book is, and the links to these books are in the description box below, but the first book is called Truth of God by Michael Steadman. It's an advanced intuitive living workbook. I will tell you guys about my life. Like, I've always been psychic, but what I was missing when growing up was my connection to God. So since I've been able to have access to this book, it's been life-changing for me. There's 3 techniques in it that you guys need to know about. The first technique is the God technique, which helps you to raise above whatever's going on. So like, this is where my consciousness was at. I always felt like I was being trapped in the psychic realm, just kind of being victimized by these spiritual experiences that I couldn't explain. Supernatural, paranormal, spiritual, however you want to label that. So the God technique raises you out of your ego into looking out through the eyes of your higher self, which for me was like an elevator ride. Like, it was a big gap in consciousness at first. And then after some time of doing it, that it's less of that gap of consciousness, but it's still a really big shift in consciousness. Okay. And that is what helps me rise above whatever's going on. The second technique I'm going to talk about is the joy versus anger technique. Now, that technique, everybody has the gift clairsentient, which is like clear feeling, intuitive gut feeling, right? The joy versus anger technique gives you the ability to ask yes and no questions so that with your higher self God, so that you can get immediate answers back, so that you can start being divinely led throughout life. My life before asking questions, I would just allow my gift to work on its own, but I would not be like asking questions like, should I go here? Should I eat this? Should I do that? Now that I ask that, I pretty much avoid tragedies almost every single day, unless I forget to ask a question or if I ask the wrong question. But yeah, so there's so many other techniques in this book, you guys, that's going to help you create a positive reality. But I'm just talking about the ones that I use every single day that are must have for your spiritual journey. So the third technique is the mind technique. It says, as the joy versus anger technique was the most important and useful intuitive application in this book, the mind technique is of the same importance level, but designed to clear the negative mental and emotional baggage and beliefs that we are dragging around, which are influencing the reality that we are creating. Or experiencing, because we are creating it, but we're also experiencing the reality. Okay, so check that book out. The link to that book is The Truth of God by Michael Steadman. Okay, and the link to it is in the description box below. The second book I'm going to talk about is Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. This is the book that I've written. So if you want to learn to read cards for yourself and cards for other people, this is the book that I wish that I had available to me when I first started learning to read cards. So I wrote this book off of the original Rider-Waite, Riderwaite deck. So every other tarot deck comes off of the original Rider-Waite. So if you learn the interpretations of the original Rider-Waite, you could go to any other specialty deck and be able to read the cards there. Okay. So what I've done with Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, first of all, it starts off with a 14 Zodiac Tarot card spread with 2 positions, 1 position for your North Node, which is your destiny, and 1 position for your South Node, which is your ego. And then it helps you learn about transitioning, okay, to your North Node. And then the spell that goes along with that is to help you to get into your own destiny and to integrate the Zodiac, the positive traits of the Zodiac, of all of the different Zodiac signs that you are not that sign. So that means basically the rest of them. Okay, so what do I want to read from? So then I've created tarot card spreads for the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions. So I'm going to read from the Hierophant, the male high priest archetype tarot card spread. The Hierophant is number 5. Answer is cautious, yes. Zodiac is Taurus. The Hierophant is well educated for a career in education, medicine, shamanism, spirituality, and religious leaders. The Hierophant can represent a Hierophant group or a secret society such as a 33-degree Masons or Skull and Bones group, for example. The overall energy of the Hierophant is spiritual growth. Teamwork is necessary for job contentment. The Hierophant is always watching out for ethical and moral conflicts. The need for social opinions affects the decisions of the Hierophant. So I'm going to go to, so pull 1 card for each position. I'm going to go to position 9, and I'm going to read the mystery. This card position reveals to you the hidden mysteries that come to you through the form of visions, clairvoyance, or other psychic spiritual means. The mystery of your own life can be shown to you in the card that is pulled for this position. Unknown truths or secrets can be unveiled here as well as forbidden knowledge. Lost memories or the recalling of basic truths may come up in the position here. If you pull the High Priestess Tarot card for this position, it will reveal to you that you have a Torah of hidden secret knowledge within. If you pull the Magician Tarot card, it can indicate that you have a great mystery that's unfolding magically in your life. Then we have position 10, the Law and Obedience. This card shows you any personal laws that you have created and boundaries in your life. This card can show you personal moral values that you have not been aware of. If you have a difficult moral decision to make, that can be shown to you here, along with the effect of making that wrong choice. If your freedom is being threatened, you may pick up on that energy throughout the card that you pull for this position. If you pull the Justice Tarot card for this position, it could indicate that your future could entail some form of justice entering your life. If you pull the Last Judgment Tarot card for this position, it could indicate that the authorities are investigating your life now, or they will be in the future. If you pull the Hierophant Tarot card, it could indicate that you are being judged by an actual judge in the future, and that the judgment will go in your favor. Always double check the yes and no answer for the tarot card pulled for this position. And then it just keeps going on, you guys, with like liberty, disobedience. There's a lot of positions for the Hierophant. So the Hierophant Tarot card spell is to manifest lack mindset into nothingness. The Lover's Tarot card spell is to draw love into one's life. The Chariot Tarot card spell is to remove obstacles. The Strength Tarot card spell is to become stronger. You're getting the gist of this. The Wheel of Fortune Tarot card spell is to attract good luck. And then in the back of the book, I've created a compendium of knowledge of what it could mean when you have the different major arcana cards coming out one next to each other. So I'm just going to go to the Hierophant and read a little bit from that. Where are you? Let's see. Okay, so the Hierophant Tarot card in the reading could indicate that the Most High God is showing its hand or intervening on your behalf or on the behalf of whoever you're reading for. The Hierophant Tarot card in a reading could also indicate that there is a Hierophant group involved with the situation. Hierophant groups can be anything from gangs, the mafia, covens, religions, the occult, the Freemasons, secret societies such as Skull is Bone, Bohemian Grove, etc. If you pull the Hierophant Tarot card with the Chariot Tarot card, it could mean that someone from a Hierophant group, religion, cult, or secret society is also someone in law enforcement. If you pull the Hierophant Tarot card and then the Death Tarot card, it could indicate that an ending is coming to whatever organization or secret society, religious group, or negative collaboration against you. When you pull the Hierophant Tarot card with the Devil Tarot card, it could indicate that someone is in a position of authority who is corrupt, wicked, or under the influence of the negative forces associated with the devil. This also could be an indicator that the Hierophant works for or worships the devil and not God. If you pull the Hierophant Tarot card and the Magician Tarot card, it could indicate that the Hierophant is using magical practices behind their religious occult practices or behind the scenes. The Magician Tarot card, if the Magician Tarot card is in the reverse, then it means that the Hierophant is using black magic. If you pull the Hierophant with the star in the reverse, it could indicate that the person or Hierophant in question is a false prophet. And it just keeps going on and on and on, you guys. But check this book out. If you want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others, you can do these tarot card spreads and spells in this book over and over again and still get new information. So it's called Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. The link to this book and the link to The Truth of God is in the description box below. Okay? So get those, and all you need to start learning to read your own cards is the original Rider-Waite deck, RYDERWAITE. I would go ahead and invest and get the deck that's got the description on the cards. All right, you guys. I'm glad that you're here with me. Please share this content. Let other people know about it, okay? So you guys have a big choice coming up. I feel like this choice is something that maybe y'all don't know about. Okay, definitely feels like it has to do with work and it has to do with love life. So maybe you're going to be asked to move in with somebody else. Maybe you're going to be asked to like relocate when it comes to a job. Well, whatever this is, it's a big decision for you. You have the ability to make the best choice. I just feel like you need to really research the information surrounding, like, let's say this is somebody that wants you to move in with them. Like, do some research about it, okay? Let's say this is like a job wanting you to start working for them. Make sure you put in your 2-week notice. Do some research about the new job, that type of thing. Do some research about working in the area, okay? You don't want to be put into a position where you're going to be like, oh shit, I made the wrong choice. Or, oh shit, I could have made a different choice. I didn't follow my intuition. And so that's why we're talking about this. Listening to your gut feeling, following your intuition, and following that your better decision-making skills is what I should say. All right, so we're going to see what comes through the cards here about this choice that you guys are getting ready to make. I do feel like there was a big transition yesterday. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps this platform, and it really helps when you guys support me back. So thank you, thank you, thank you in advance. Ace of Cups. So yeah, this decision, it's like, you know, it's one that's going to be made with love. You have love from the Most High. You could have very intense friendships right now. You could have you could be opening your heart up to a new experience. That could literally be why something is coming in. Yeah, you're being told to let your guard down, open your heart. And you can count on whoever this new person coming is, you can count on this person. Or this could be like you wanting to get back with somebody. If this is you wanting to get back with somebody, you'll know the situation. For some of you, it'll not be a bad thing. For some of you, you just don't want to go backwards, okay, which is understandable. The Ace of Cups is talking about how you will find your soulmate, your correct position, where you're meant to be, all of that stuff. If you guys could subscribe to the platform, share this content, it would greatly help get these messages out to other people. Queen of Pentacles. So whatever this decision is that you're making, it's going to make you very abundant. I feel like you guys are this abundant energy already, but you could be very nurturing. You could be into politics, or you could be very sympathetic to political issues. You could also be somebody that likes to help other people when they're in need. Intensely loyal. You know, if you're wondering, if you're like, oh, if I move in with this other person, am I going to be too far away from my friends? Okay, if your friends are if they're really your friends, they'll want what's best for you. And these people will have no problem. Like, you know, you guys could meet up every, what was it? The end of Stranger Things, the friends decided to meet up like every month or something. You don't have to meet up that often, but you can meet up like especially like, let's say that, you know, I feel like this is going to be a workable situation. You can meet up with your friends every couple months or something. Yeah, you're being told that, you know, you're a dependable person. If you guys were thinking about starting a charity, that would be a really good thing to do. You guys are also very down-to-earth people. Page of Wands. Interesting. I don't know. Is this your child? Let me ask. Is this the collective's child? No. Who is this Page of Wands energy? So maybe you're getting ready to make a move away from somebody who has a child. Maybe you left a relationship where the other person had a child. Is this going into a relationship? No, it's leaving a relationship. It could be leaving a relationship, or you could have a very close sibling that has a child. Maybe you're like concerned about not being able to be in this child's life. I feel like you have to kind of put yourself, no, it's not called Nasago. It's called Basago, Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. And the link to it's in the description box below. But yeah, I get that, like, you know, if you're afraid to move away from somebody's child, you just have to look at the fact that it's not your child, even if it's like a niece or a nephew or something like that. This is not your child, not your responsibility. If anybody's wanting to make you feel guilty for not being their babysitter or whatever, they need to get past that. Because you have better things to do other than taking care of somebody else's kid. I can guarantee that. Some of you guys are going to end up having children yourselves, but it won't be for a little while. King of Cups. Yeah, so, you know, this Page of Wands, like, they do have access to somebody who's of wise counsel. So I don't feel like, you know, you leaving this situation is going to do anything to harm you at all. I don't think it's going to do anything to harm this person at all. I just feel like sometimes you just have to move forward with your life, and, you know, things that are not your problem are not your problem. And this other person and their child, they're not your problem. As much as they want you, and again, as much as that, you could have been a step parent at some point. You can still love your stepchild when you're not with the parent, you know. I mean, it's hard because, well, at least in my situation, my ex was like, no, you can't fucking talk to the step kid anymore, and was just a very abusive person. So I had to just kind of allow it to fizzle out. But, you know, I'm glad that I did, because now I'm not, like, seriously, at that point in my life where I was married and taking care of this other person's child all the time, it was like, I literally, I don't regret it, but I will say that I was definitely being used by that person to take care of a child that was not mine all of the fucking time. The tower. See, these people are in the tower, yo. They are in the tower, and you're over here getting justice. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it. But I do, well, I mean, I kind of regret being married to the person because they were a fuckhead. But, you know, I don't regret that stepchild part. I'm actually glad that I had that experience, because now I know that I don't want children, which is a good thing for me to know. You guys are getting justice while these people are in the tower. That's unfortunate. Your justice could be to move forward and move on with your lives in a free way, you know? Don't let these people make you feel like you have to be bound to them. I also get that this King of Cups is not your ex. This is somebody that has given wise advice to an ex or somebody from the past to just leave you alone. And I don't think that this person's going to. I really don't think that they're intelligent enough to leave you alone. They still want to live off of you. They want to be living up under your roof. They want to be laying on your couch. They want to be bringing their dirty fucking boots into your home. Like, I'm serious. This person's extremely disrespectful. So you're being guided to move forward. Whatever this big choice is that is coming up, choose yourself. You're not going to be unhappy if you choose yourself. Knight of Pentacles. This is the ex, whoever this loser is. That's the person that's in the tower. You know, like, what my ex did was horrific. When we broke up, we had the step kid all of the time, and then my ex got with another person and basically chose to never ever see his daughter ever again, which is fucked up. How could you do that to your own child? Well, obviously he was a piece of work, so that's how you could do that to your own child. But, you know, very unfortunate. I feel like you're not responsible for these people, so let them go. You're getting justice right now. That's like you getting a fair opportunity given to you. Like, maybe in this other relationship, there was like not equal opportunity. Maybe it was you doing like, and again, you don't need to be in a relationship where you're doing 70% of the work and the other person is doing like 30, you know? Like, those relationships and experiences get extremely draining extremely quickly. And then you just want to be like, I think I'm just going to walk away because you've drained me of everything that I fucking had. And, you know, maybe when you were around this person before, you had not gone through a spiritual awakening, but now you are going through a spiritual awakening. And so it's, you know, it's just going to be unwise for you to go back into a binding situation. And another reason why I walked away from the marriage that I was in was because it was an off and on thing with me getting beat all the time and literally being abused and having to walk away from the person, then coming back because of thinking of the constitution of marriage of whatever fucking nonsense. And so the best thing I could have ever done was divorce that person, because the moment I realized at that point in my life, every problem that I had was not actually my problem. It was this other person's problem that I was with. Literally verbatim, every single problem in my life, except for having to deal with the trauma from being with that person and being extremely narcissistically abused and have witchcraft done on me and all this other shit. I had to, obviously, after getting out of that relationship, heal from the trauma of it. But I realized that every fucking problem that was a perceived problem that I was thinking was my problem was this losing ass motherfucker's problem. Okay. His debt, his ex, his this, his that. It was all his. Then when he was gone, it was like, holy shit. Now all I have to do is clean up the mess. Like, all I have to do is just heal from what he did to me. Cool. And then I was able to, like, seriously get on my spiritual journey. But yeah, I had tried to get on my spiritual journey, and this person wouldn't stop beating the fuck out of me because I didn't want to worship him and slave over him and do everything. You just have to say no to people sometimes, literally, to get them out of your life. Like, I can tell you right now that this Knight of Pentacles should have never had kids. Queen of Swords. Like I said, you could have cut this person off. Said, you're excommunicado when it comes to my life. You said no to somebody. And that could be enough for them to get possessed and try to unalive you. In my case, me just saying, yeah, I don't want to be with you anymore was enough for that person to try to kill me. So you just have to understand that you made the wisest decision that you could make at the time with what you had going on. And you can't really hold yourself to a standard. Like, it's not your fault that this person's a loser. But just know that this new choice that's coming in towards you, it's because you walked away from this situation that was no longer serving you. Yeah, good thing I left, because I would be fucking dead and he would be in prison. Strength. Well, maybe he wouldn't be in prison. He always said that if he was going to kill me, he would just tell everybody that it was an insulin overdose or insulin thing. Not for me, for him. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they would fucking check your shit. And if it was not way off, they would call bullshit on that. But yeah, you guys are getting stronger because you cut this person off. I also feel like you could have been experiencing bad luck for a certain amount of time, and now you're not experiencing that anymore. This person thought that they were going to like hold your energy captive forever. That's crazy. They're like, I'm just going to hold on to this person forever. These people could be in the tower because they abuse their power in some type of way when it comes to you. Yeah, you know, I had to get out of this mentality. And this is what you did as well. You got out of the Queen of Cups. I don't know why people think that's all that you are, especially after provoking you for so long. I also get that, you know, like this person, they think that they're the best thing since sliced bread. They literally verbatim think that they are worth everything, worth you sacrificing yourself. And this is one problem that, you know, people have. It's one issue that people have with other people is, why the fuck do I have to not love myself to be with you? Like, if it requires, like, for your experience, if it requires you having to stop loving yourself to love this person only, they're a fucking narc for that. For literally wanting you to not take care of yourself and only take care of them and put them first and worship them like they're God. This person is not God. They never will be God. I mean, everybody's higher self is God, but for themselves, not for you. Yeah. The Six of Cups in the reverse. This person has lost sight on what they were even fighting for in the first place. They're dwelling on the past. And pain and difficulty does not disappear for them right away. Because like I said, when you cut this person off, they were left with all of... yeah, so the books are in the description box below, you guys. So yeah, just let you know. But the links to them, there's two links to the books that are in the description box below. The first link is The Truth of God by Michael Steadman. The second link is Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. But yeah, so this person's not taking responsibility for their own issues. And this is like the same thing that they were doing when they were around you. They're just trying to throw everything on top of you. This person thinks that they're going to get their hands on some type of inheritance or gift that was yours, and they're not. Oh, thank you, Phoenix Empress. I love the unicorn. Oh, adorable. Yeah, so this person is not going to get their hand. Like, they could be sitting around waiting for some type of transaction to go through where they think that they're going to get something off of your credit or get PPC loan or whatever those loans are. Yeah, this is why you need to keep your documents locked up in like a lockbox, just so that you don't have people that are like, let's say you just have somebody come stay with you or live with you, or you have a roommate. You want to make sure that in whatever circumstance you're in, that you have your documents locked up to where people can't just go look at them and then use that information. I do feel like if somebody has done that, they're in the tower for doing so, and they're sitting around. The funny shit is that this person, oh, thank you. God bless you guys. This person's sitting around waiting for like some check to come in the mail, and they're going to get cops knocking at their door. That's what I think is hilarious. Police. Hello, the police. The police are at this person's fucking door, ready to kick their door in. They're about to be taken through some type of court case, and they're going to lose, obviously. And this person thinks like, oh, I'll just go get my ex to sign off on whatever this is. They'll take the blame. No, you won't. You're not taking the blame for anything that you didn't have a part of. And this person's a fucking scammer. Like literally, they're about to be going through it. And maybe they were advised, maybe this also has to do with them fighting a custody battle, but maybe they were advised like to not do this, to, you know, not try to scam and get money off of y'all. Like maybe they were advised not to do that. I feel like literally verbatim, this person was told no by you and by somebody else. Now they're throwing a fit. It's like a temper tantrum. Hangman. I seen the hangman card. I shuffled all the cards like twice. The hangman came right back to the top. How is that even possible? So again, this person was planning on sacrificing you in court, making you look guilty for something that they're responsible for. This person's stupid. I also feel like they could be, you know, they could have, they don't even need to be upset. This person's got a lot of friends that are in jail. They can go hang out with their friends that are in jail. I mean, like literally. What was this person even thinking? That you were going to self-sacrifice your peace and joy and love and happiness to just take care of them like some fucking servant? Like this person literally still thinks of you like you're their slave. The fool. It's very stupid behavior. And for this person to even say that they know you, no, they thought that they knew you, but they didn't actually know you. Like, seriously. They didn't actually know you. Yeah, this person's getting in trouble. Look at this. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse for them. This person has made very stupid, foolish decisions in business. It says dishonesty in business, your reputation as well as long-term goals are in jeopardy. Lack of insight into problems affects your judgment. They're extremely short-sighted, these people. Careless spending, solicit several bids before making a decision, business partnership and conflict. I also feel like this person was trying to cause an ending to your business, and we just cancel and rebuke that, God. Anybody that's trying to end this platform, trying to shut it down, trying to do anything to me or anything to the collective, we ask that it be done to them, that it be reversed and put back on they dumbass. Because I'm not going to stop my progression in life, and the collective's not going to stop their progression in life just because somebody is a selfish, dirty, greedy fucking pig. Point blank period, God. That's the way I feel about it. I would like you to remove the people that continue to cause conflict. The 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. This person does not have a group of people that's going to buy from them, whatever this is. And again, fighting over profit and who gets credit on work and projects. This person was never a part of the work that you do. They're a lazy, good-for-nothing piece of literal dog shit, okay? So for them to try to fight over the profits that are coming to you, delusional. For them to be sitting around thinking that they're going to get some type of inheritance or blessing. Why the fuck would God bless anybody like this? Yeah, when you're the real star. This is the new age of Aquarius, the age of Pisces, where this person was getting away with spiritually sacrificing you, is over. Okay, and we ask for a full reversal on all spiritual sacrifices. These people are self-centered. They're envious. They don't want to compromise. They want you to compromise your money for them. The fuck is this, dude? No, you don't need these people. Disgusting. Let these people burn in the pits of hell. I would literally release them unto whatever karma they have coming their way. We remove any sacrificial energy. We report it to the Most High God, to Archangel Michael, to the Holy Spirit. We report all of these people and the bullshit that they're on. And anybody else that they talk to or that they involved in trying to do this to the collective. We report those people as well. And we accuse them of their behavior. Because I feel like you being able to thrive and be in the star energy and do this beautiful work, it's going to help the world. What the fuck are these people doing to make a betterment of anything? These people have done nothing but make this world a more shitty place. Like, that's literally what they're dishonest in business. They can't even be trusted. This is like a thief you're dealing with. Somebody that thinks they're just going to randomly pop up and steal some shit. The fuck not. No. This person's putting the individual needs above the needs of this group of people that they belong to. Which means that they're going to be outed for that. Six of Pentacles. These people have to pay back whatever they owe. Whatever they stole, they got to pay back. And if they don't have the money to pay it back, they can pay back with their blood. These people, they'll gain control over their financial life when they learn to leave you the fuck out of it. Because you are not the reason that this person's a broke piece of shit. They're a broke piece of shit because they don't do any work. They don't contribute to society in any meaningful way. This is why they're not getting anything back. And the times of the wicked being able to get money off of doing wickedness to others, sacrificing other children and shit like that, that is the fuck over. Okay, whatever those entities were that were doing this like switch up shit, like give you 7 years of fame or whatever crap for a soul, a child, like confirmation, it's over. God has intervened. God shut it all the fuck down. These people are not getting anything. Oh, I love that. Okay, so I'm going to pause the collective reading and I'm going to answer Phoenix Empress's question. Now, which deck do I want to use? I'm going to use the Oracle of Portals deck. So she asked what beautiful miracles would happen on Earth once we all fulfill our missions. I love that. Well, I get that, you know, it's going to be like, okay, you could envision it this way. You know how in the Matrix, when they unplug from the Matrix, they wake up and like unplug themselves? You could envision like a whole bunch of people unplugging at the same time. But I don't get that there's going to be, wow, birth, ascend. Oh my gosh, you guys. Ascension and birth. And see how the earth right there, like that's like an earth elemental. I love that. Okay. So yeah, when everybody wakes up, there's going to be a mass ascension. I'm also getting that the new children that are coming to this planet, they're going to be the ones that like probably have superpowers. I think as every generation continues to be born, more come in with more abilities. But these children, I don't know if they're going to have to go through an ascension like what we're going through. I think we're paving see that road that's like, or you could call it a bridge. I think we're paving the bridge work for these new creations to come into existence. I also get that in this new age, people who are artists, people who are readers, people who are scientists, and I would say inventors, creators, like designers, those are the people who are going to be the famous ones. So it's going to be a transition of like, well, as AI continues to advance, the world is going to need people who can do things manually, like art, like writing, you know what I mean? And I feel like we're always being flooded with too much AI stuff. This birth is going to be like, it's going to be like bringing in children that are literal stars. Land of the dreams. Interesting. So I feel like this is a collective dream that we're all having. And I love how that bed is just like a floating bed up under the moon. So this is like a collective dream that we're all having. That when everybody awakens to, I would call it enlightenment, Christ consciousness, to knowing that they are more than just their body, more than just what they see. I feel like that's going to be the cornerstone of change. And then I feel like the rest of the change is going to be ushered in very naturally. Awake. Yeah, it's going to awaken people. Another bed. Interesting. And look, the structure of that whatever this is that's around the bed, that structure to me looks like Middle Eastern. So maybe people over there are going to wake up. Interesting. It's giving me like Taj Mahal type energy. Yeah, the people over there, they're going to go through an awakening as well. So it's going to be one that like people are waking up to the collective dream of having a better future. I also get that like telepathy may be the regular norm. Like when this ascension happens, we could ascend to a state of existence where the Tower of Babel is not like an active thing, and we can just communicate with via telepathy, which is exactly what happened before the Tower of Babel was put up. Yeah, which I think that part of that has to do with the Rosetta Stone and how language divides, because it really does. It really does divide. Celebration. You know, this tent reminds me of the Harry Potter tents where it looks like a small little tent, but you go in there, it's like rooms and rooms and rooms. This is going to be a massive celebration, you guys, for everybody to awaken. Yes, massive celebration. I also get that, like, if you were doubting a project, now is the time to invest back in that. I get that whatever this project is that you're working on, I don't know what this energy is. It's an external energy, but it's trying to it's trying to swat you out of the air like you're a fly, but you're not like a fly. Interesting. What does that have to do with this situation, though? Oh, that there will still be low vibrational people that want to like destroy you or swat you out of the air from ascending or whatever. But even those people at some point will go through an awakening, and they'll be given a choice, like either, you know, awaken and get on board with this collective dream for a better future, or stay in this lower vibration of Earth. And so I feel like it's going to be just a separation between the old vibration of Earth and the new vibration. Yeah, future. They're going to be told, like, what do you want for your future? What is it? Do you want to stay in this old vibration where there's separation and everybody feels disconnected? I also get that there's a future celebration here in the making. You know, I'm not even hearing about a rapture or anything like that. I'm literally just hearing about people waking up and then getting, the more people that, it's like the 100th monkey syndrome. The more people that wake up will be getting on board with wanting to celebrate with each other and moving into the future, bringing birthing in higher consciousness beings. There could be like a galactic council that's getting ready to reincarnate through people right now. And when when they do that, it's like the planet may be at a frequency to where we can accept hybrids. Return of Christ consciousness. I love the little puppy right there. That's so freaking cute. But yeah, this is a major return of Christ consciousness. It is. It's just that, like, do unto others as you have them do unto you, that high vibrational, kind. It's like kindness. I would describe Christ consciousness as a consciousness that gives you, it's so high vibrational that it gives you the ability to save yourself by rising above whatever's going on. And it also shows you how to see things. Like when you enter into Christ consciousness and then you look at the things that they say that Jesus said, you'll be able to see it through the lens that it actually was created in. Okay. And it's basically a code. It's like a code. So yeah, I'm also getting something about springtime. Maybe we're going to have longer spring, less winter. I vote yes for that. I was literally, probably yesterday, the day before, past week, really kind of doubting the groundhog, because we had days that were like seriously really warm, sunny, and beautiful days, and it's still like 5 more weeks of winter this year. I was like doubting the groundhog. It's a groundhog, isn't it? I was doubting the groundhog because it said 5 more weeks of winter. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, it just starts raining and then starts snowing and shit. And I was like, huh. And then all of the coast, well, not all of the coast, but part of the coast is getting hit with these like I saw this video of Florida being completely snowed over. And it's like once in a generational, like this shift that's happening, you guys, it is changing the polarity on the planet. The fact that Florida has snow, like blizzard, they called it once in a generational snowstorm, which means like once in, you know, many, 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 many years. In fact, I've never seen snow in Florida on the beaches until like yesterday. And I had heard about the storms that were happening a few weeks ago and how they were just tearing up like the East Coast. But I didn't really think it was going to come down to Florida, because to me, Florida is like one of the most hottest humid places on the planet, like, or at least where that I've been. It's extremely hot and humid. So to see snow on the beach, it's almost like surreal. Like it's just totally strange. I feel like, yeah, it's going to be, you know, the earth is going to go through a rebirth where the time of winter, the time of it being frozen is going to be less and less. That will affect things, but I don't get that it's going to affect things in a bad way. Interesting. So the return of Christ consciousness is going to be the enlightenment for the humans on the planet. I also feel like the gap between human interaction and animal interaction, you know, when we're able to telepathically communicate with each other, we're also going to be able to do that with nature and with animals as well. Yeah, it's going to be moving beyond fear. I love that. Because I'm somebody that's totally afraid of heights. That would be terrifying to me. But yeah, moving beyond fear, moving beyond limitation. I also get that this ascension ride may feel a little bumpy at first, but once you enter into this awakened state, you're going to realize that fear is an illusion, and it's going to help you release that fear. And then it's going to be so much easier for your consciousness and vibration to just raise right up out of here. Interestingly, so what is this? Is this fear? It's not actually about heights, even though that's what it looks like. Yeah, this fear could be about change. That could be like literally, but knowing that change is a good thing. These flowers, I don't know if they're wisteria flowers. They kind of look like wisteria. I have a neighbor that has the 2 trees of this flower, and it only blooms for like a couple weeks during the summer. Anyways, it has a very distinct smell. I'm not that fond of the smell, but they do look very beautiful. The type of flower. Okay, so like a longer springtime, I mean, that would definitely affect the planet in a major way. And again, I watched a video where people were saying that winter is not natural. You know the story of Demeter. Mastery. Yeah, moving beyond fear is like stepping into self-mastery. This gives me like Assassin's Creed vibes. But mastering one's vibration is what I just heard. Okay, so what else do we need to know about how to master one's vibration? Or is that something that's so far in the future? No, I get that we'll get to experience this shift naturally. It may be the 100th monkey syndrome, but it doesn't have to be. It could just literally be like the planet being flooded with a bunch of teachers at the same time. Yeah, the unknown, mastering the fear of the unknown. I do feel like the fear of the unknown could be one of the things that's blocking us. And again, all the unknown, like if we can just trust, we don't have to have fear. Even though the unknown seems scary, it just seems that way. It doesn't mean it actually is that way. I also get that I would be more afraid of staying the same frequency and not going through an ascension rather than you know, mastering the fear of the unknown and allowing myself to slip out of this dimension. Maybe that's what they're thinking the rapture is going to be the slipping out of this dimension. I mean, that very well could be part of it. Freedom. Look at that. It is. Okay, you know how I will tell you guys how I felt trapped in the psychic realm in one vibration until I came across The Truth of God by Michael Steadman. This is what it's like. It's like literally being in this freaking cage where you're trapped, you're bound, and then all of a sudden the door opens and you can get out. So it's going to bring about freedom. The fear of the unknown is just the fear of what we can't perceive, you know what I mean? What we don't have the ability to see. Graduation. Yeah, freedom equals graduation from Earth School. And we have been at Earth School. That's why mastering our own vibration is probably one of the things we've been learning. Also accessing higher states of consciousness. All of these extraterrestrial races, they want this for us. Minus maybe the reptilians, but there's way few of them. Like when this planet was in the 5th dimension, there was a lot of reptilians. Now that we're in the 3rd dimension, and this has been going on for however long, there's not as many reptilians alive now. So if they don't want to shift, that's fine, but it would benefit them, okay, to shift their frequency. It really would. I get that, yeah, like the Pleiadians, they want us to attain freedom. They want us to graduate Earth School. The Arcturians, they want us to do the same thing. The Andromedans, same thing. Like every race that I go through, even the Greys, okay, the Greys, they want us to go through an ascension, but they want to ascend with us. The Greys are still trying to sell us this shit like we are versions of them from another reality. I don't know if that's what their religious doctrine is, but I don't really see it like that, okay? I see that Greys are like artificial intelligence. There's something artificial about them. I don't know what the hell. But maybe they're, you know, they've been abducting people and studying our vibrations, monitoring us so that they could figure out how to gain enlightenment, how to shift, and how to access the higher self. And everything has a higher self. It just does. They don't need to keep studying us. They just need to, like, literally, when the ascension wave comes through, all the Greys need to do is not fight against it. Like, just go with everything has the opportunity to ascend. Enter. Like I said, just enter into the higher state of existence. I love this picture, by the way. That makes me feel so good. And look, that to me looks like a long spring. That looks like springtime inside that gateway. So yeah. It could be like this planet shifting back to the frequency that it was at when it was considered the Garden of Eden. Or a Garden of Eden, because I get that there's more than one. So yeah. Victory. I think that this is such a good picture because Nike has those sandals that helps him, her, whatever it is, fly. This is like rising above. And the fact that that's a winter scene down below. Yeah, that's victory right there. Entering into this new state. I feel like it could also be an increase in oxygen or something like that to the planet. The planet itself, there was things that were happening that were keeping it a certain frequency. Those things are not going to be happening anymore. Without all of this satanic ritualistic sacrifice crap, it's going to be a lot easier for people to just shift into this new state of existence. Landing. Interesting. Victory and then landing. So yeah, there may be an incident where, you know, extraterrestrials land. Or it could be dragons. You know, dragons definitely exist in higher dimensions. So what do we need to know about the landing? Is that going to be... Yeah, that could be like one of our exposures to what's out in the cosmos, which is not anything that I get that we need to be afraid of. But yeah, descent, landing and descending is the same thing. That's like That's like, you know, and I look at this little child's ears and it kind of makes me feel like how I was saying hybrids, being able to descend to this planet and live on this planet. So we may have, you know, hybrid like children coming through and it will be accepted. Very telepathic healing beings. Interesting. What else do we need to know about this question? I feel like this is a collective dream we've all been dreaming for a long time, to have like galactic cosmic unity, to have cosmic consciousness, to enter into the God frequency, and to regain back what was lost at the Garden of Eden, which I feel like it just has to do with awareness and consciousness. Commitment. Interesting. Commitment. That could be part of it. And yes, that's two women getting married to each other. And then this thing in the background, I don't know what that is, but maybe it's like an old school wedding decoration. Yeah, commitment. Okay, so people are going to be committed to this new way of living. I also get that people are going to be more willing to commit to one another. That's a beautiful thing. Underwater realm. Okay. So what does this have to do with? There could be some extraterrestrial underwater bases that are waiting for this shift to happen so that they can make their way to the surface. You see, she doesn't really have like fins or flippers or anything. So I feel like there's going to be unification of the whole planet and nature in itself. Interesting. Well, you know, the majority of the planet is underwater. It is the ocean. Initiation. Initiation, that's like the beginning of a process. So this could very well be about, you know, underwater initiation. It doesn't have to be about underwater initiation, but it gives me the energy of spirit. I mean, the colors in these two pictures next to each other, that definitely one has to do with the other. So yeah, it may be like what happens is the mermaids and stuff like that and underwater creatures make an alliance with the people that are on the earth. Otherworldly. Yeah, this otherworldly portal. This is what I'm getting. It's like a unification of that. This otherworldly energy. Okay, let's get one more. Sunset. Amaterasu. That is Amaterasu right there. She is a Japanese goddess of the sun. And she's got a really interesting story behind her. But just to give you a summary of it, she retreats into a cave, which is like where she's at right now. And she hides away from the world, but the sun doesn't come up, right? Because she's like the sun in Japanese mythology. So somebody takes a mirror and they put it at the entrance of the cave so that her own light reflects back at her, and it inspires her to leave the cave so that the light can come back to the world. That story is very, very significant to me. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be something that we probably never would have dreamed would be possible, but it is going to be possible. And gaining victory over basically just the lower dimensions and the lower consciousness. I feel like it's also a victory in the astral realm, and the return of Christ consciousness is going to happen through everybody having this collective dream, you know, of ascension. Ascension is just going, it's raising frequency. You could think of it as going back to heaven, but we already are in the heavens. The earth is a planet that's already positioned in the heavens. So it's not so much going back to heaven. We are already there. We just have to understand that through our own choices, our own thoughts, and our own actions, and through us controlling our own vibration, we're going to be able to enter into a state of existence where, you know, there are no problems. I get that literally it'll be coming together. Like the Galactic Federation and all of that has been waiting for a very long time for this shift to happen. And I don't think that they thought it was going to happen in this lifetime, but I do get that a lot of these things that we're talking about are going to happen in this lifetime. So yeah, keep raising your frequency, keep going within, keep healing, keep working on yourselves, you guys. It's so important. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. Okay, let's see what else. What else comes out as we go back to the other reading? But yeah, the earth is going to look like, you know, they say a return to the golden age. And why I get that that's true is because all of this technology that, you know, the underwater realms have, that these other star races have, they will be brought to the earth and we'll have access to that technology. And so I feel like that's going to be really cool. That's going to be a jump start, you know, in a new direction. And if the Anunnaki return, hopefully they bring their technology with them. And it could be like less of, well, I say winter, but less of drastic, you know, when it's like the hardest part of summer and it's like the hottest, or it's the hardest part of winter, it's going to be less of that. It's going to be more smooth sailing and like more of the seasons being softer rather than having extreme switch ups, like going from extreme hot to extreme cold. My favorite season is fall. I love fall because, you know, the leaves change colors, it finally starts to get like out of the hundreds, out of the 90s. You can actually start to go out during the daytime without fainting. I love fall. And I like spring as well, but I feel like it takes a little bit longer maybe sometimes to get warm in spring. And it has to do with that groundhog factor. Maybe the groundhog factor in the future is going to be taken out of the equation, and it'll just be like early spring, early spring, early spring. And then we won't even have that question of like, oh, are we going to have another 5 weeks of winter? Because like when it was the time to ask the groundhog, you know, do you see your shadow or not, or whatever they do, I was like, yo, we're going to have an early spring. It's so warm right now. And it was like so nice. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're like, oh, 5 more weeks of winter? Really? Like, no way. And then lo and behold, they were right. The groundhog was right, because storms ended up coming in. But that's a good thing. You have to think of it like I think of it as like, okay, if we don't get enough water, if we don't get enough of, and again, this is all over the continent. If we don't get enough snow, then we won't have enough water in reserve. If we don't get enough rain, we won't have enough water for, like, you know, to make things change. And so, yeah, there's an equilibrium, like a planetary equilibrium, you know? And I know they keep talking about global warming, but you know, whatever they're saying about it, they don't know what they're talking about. I don't get that they are 100% accurate in what's happening with the planet. You know, maybe there was something going on that was causing things to be colder or something. It's going to just be, I get that it's going to be more smooth sailing. Okay, so what do we need to know about the finishing up this other, the reading that we were doing before? So basically, just know that this person that was dishonest in business, they want you to invest in them, but you're getting offered another choice. Like, you guys have other opportunities coming in. And it could be to go to a new company, to go to a new city, to go to another place, okay? Like another, let's say you live like on the beach. It could be to go to the country. Whatever this is, I like the switch up of energy. I don't think that this person's going to like it, because they want to know where you're at all times, even though it's not really their business to know that. So what else do we need to know about this person? Oh, don't be afraid. Like, literally. Okay. So if you did have a situation with an ex-stepchild, your ex's child, just know that if you have to walk away from that situation, that this child already knows what a piece of work their parent is. Okay. They're not blaming you. And that's one thing I wanted to make it very clear to my stepdaughter, was that, you know, she was enough. She was enough for me to stay with somebody that was abusing me for years. Okay. She was enough. She was beautiful, wonderful. She is beautiful, wonderful. You know, just communicate clearly with people. It's like, kind of, it's like going to be just really hard for you to forgive this person from the past, I feel like. I don't feel like this child's going to hold anything against you, High Priestess. They know that you're an intuitive person. You know, they may contact you in the future and be like, hey, how's it going, Mom? How's it going, Dad? They could still think of you like you're their mom or their dad. Or if this is like a sister's child, they could still think of you as like auntie. You know, there's nothing wrong with staying in contact with someone, especially if this is an adult child. If you can stay in contact with them being an adult, I think that's going to be beautiful. But at the same time, don't sacrifice your own life for anybody else's. Okay, that's what these people expect you to do, because that was the habit from the past. Yeah, but you're protected, Ace of Swords, divinely protected, which means all of your intellectual projects, which the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords, that is an intellectual project. This is like your intellectual projects being protected, which means that not only you're going to benefit from them, but the general collective is going to benefit from them. It says decisions should be guided by what is just, true, and honorable. And you have to do right by yourself. Think of problems as opportunities of change. That's what it literally says with the Ace of Swords. So I feel like your future is like already set in stone for you to be this High Priestess, for you to be in the Strength, for you to be in the Star, for you to be in the Justice and the Queen of Pentacles. Like, you don't have to be into politics, but you could be into helping other people in need. You could be just sensitive to certain type of political issues or other types of issues. I feel like you're going to be loved no matter where you go. Okay. And I do feel like that is something that these people know. Ace of Wands, because this is the perfect time for y'all to begin a new project, to go on that vacation, to take time off. I mean, you don't have to take a whole bunch of time off, but I would just take some time to think about this opportunity when it comes in. Because you just have to ask yourself, where I'm at in my life, what do I have that's going to make me staying here? What do I have here for me? And if you're in a job where you're unhappy, if you're in a place where you're unhappy, and if you feel like you're disconnected from people that you care about, or you feel like, you know, that you're having to engage in a long distance relationship with somebody, that may just be something that you ask yourself is like, what do I have that's here for me? And if nothing comes forward, then maybe it's the time to look, you know, into investing in a new area. I feel like whatever you love in nature the most, you should be close to. So like my favorite thing is the beach. Yeah, Ten of Swords in the reverse. These people are not going to face their problems. And why that fell on the ground made me bend over to get it. These people want you to be doing extra work. Like, the fuck no. This is talking about these people's problems are not going to go away on their own. And I don't think you talking to this person is going to help them. Okay? Their suffering is only going to end after hard work. These people are stagnant. They're in an intellectual rut. They need to open themselves up to new ideas. And they see you doing this and they're like, well, why don't I just do what they're doing? No, this person's not invited to wherever you're going. The world. This is what I'm saying. You're getting, sorry, I have to cover poop boobies, but you're getting a new opportunity on this planet, in a new place, travel, vacation, visiting a new area. Okay. A lot of goals being achieved here. Yeah. Also change of residence and job, sense of fulfillment. I also feel like you guys could be like considering how the economy is going, like being like, you know, do I want to, like, let's say you're in New York City. I know New York is somewhere that's very expensive. Everything's expensive. Miami is also a place that's expensive. You could be like, do I really want to stay in this, like very expensive place to live? Or do I want to maybe go move to another place that's not as expensive? Yeah, there's a whole collective of people making this decision right now. The way California is going, They're going to be fighting for gasoline, for water. I mean, like how the Palisades burnt down. If you guys don't know about that, like I think it was this last year, there was a humongous fire in LA, burnt the Palisades down. And the governor of California, no, this is why I'm not a politics person. I could not deal with shit like this. They will not sign off on anything. Like they won't sign off on refineries to have the oil turned into gasoline so that they can provide for the people in their state. And the governor's is just a piece of shit, in my opinion. But that's, again, just my own personal opinion. And the only reason I say that is because there's all of these issues that could be easily signed by this governor person fucking signing the paper saying, okay, you can go rebuild the Palisades, go rebuild a new home. You know, he's just not, he's putting everything off. Like he won't allow the oil to be taken out of the earth and given to the people as gasoline, which is causing the gas prices to be like $5 a gallon. And I'm not joking about that. Earlier, I was just there and they're like literally fucking $5 a gallon because they're getting all of their gasoline imported from like India. So I feel like that when I was talking about you guys just doing the research and making sure that if you are planning to move somewhere, that that place has the resources that you need. Okay. Yeah, because it's not just oil, it's other stuff too that California is going to have a problem with, because the more the gas prices go up, the more that people are selling the hybrid cars. And you know what that does? It overtaxes the power grid. And what happens if the power grid goes out? And that's eventually what's going to happen if they don't start refining the oil. Because California is getting a lot of their gasoline through other states that are like the governor of Utah, the governor of these other states that have huge refineries are signing off on the whatever they are, whatever things are that have to be signed off on. They're signing off on it. So they're producing 3 to 4 times the amount of gallons of gasoline, refined gasoline per day than what they need. And so, you know, from what the news said, Utah's going to stop giving all of this non-taxable gasoline. They're going to stop sending it to California. I know, right? So California is relying on gasoline that comes from boats from India, and they can only, you know, where I guess the state of Utah, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I guess it just has the ability for them to continue to expand on how much they can harvest from the earth or whatever. And so they're going to be like the gas kings and queens of the United States, where India, they can't just expand their things. Like they can't just expand. They can try to get more, but again, there's an extra, why the gasoline in California costs more is because it's being shipped from India, because the governor will not allow it to be brought out of the earth and given to the people. And so people keep getting these electric cars, and then it's overtaxing the power grid, which means the power grid could go out for the whole state. And where California is relying 100% on India and on other states to give the excess oil, the excess gasoline that, like, because Utah's like only a couple states away from California. So like the excess gasoline that's harvested there, they just signed some shit saying we're not sending it to California anymore. Like, first of all, that's not being taxed. Why are we going to like make our gas prices of our state's people, citizens, whatever, go up so that California can continue to mooch off of us? And so they're cutting off that California pipeline of like how they were just sending it to California. And California is relying on these other states because their governor is a piece of shit, literally, where they could. And not only that, when the governor shut down the oil refineries in California, thousands of people lost their jobs. So many fucking people lost their jobs. Ridiculous. And it's like literally just one person that's the biggest problem over there that's causing all of this backup and all of this, you know, stupid shit to go on. And that's why I don't like politics, but I will say that I have learned over time that it is an important thing, because I saw what Biden was doing, which was a atrocity to this fucking country. And then I seen what Gavin is doing, whatever his dipshit name is. And I'm serious. Like, no, you have to have the right people in power. And I don't think there's ever going to be anybody that we actually like that's in power, just to be quite honest, because politicians, they seem like a certain type of person. And they're very corrupt, just like any ultimate power corrupts ultimately. Like, it's just like people that have too much power fall into corruption. So before you make any big choices, do some investigation, okay? Like, investigate the area you're thinking about going, investigating the job you're thinking about moving to, and reading about it. There are probably websites that give a back history on things, okay? So I feel like you guys doing the investigation is going to be a good thing. I also feel like there's going to be some push and pull when it comes to resources, but you're always going to have everything that you need because you're doing everything in alignment. It's like you're the star, a bit about having the star card, you guys. It is about talents and it is about star quality, but it's also about being in alignment. Okay? Because the stars, like, that's something written in the stars. 8 of Wands. Yeah, these people are going to be at a crossroads. They were relying on you, just like how California is relying on Utah and probably other states, you know, and see, this is where the thing, it gets even more interesting, is that Nevada has no problem paying taxes on the gasoline that comes from Utah, and it's right next door. So Utah's like, great, you have no problem paying, like, what, 13 cents or some shit per gallon tax or something like that. So they're signing contracts with Nevada and building pipelines that go to like Vegas and Reno, and they're going to be giving all that excess gasoline that way. And if, you know, like, this is why I feel like just do the research on wherever you're planning on moving. If you're planning on moving out of the country, do research on everything social and religious to do with the country that you're thinking of moving to. And just make sure that your paperwork's in alignment. Because like I said, one person being in the wrong position can fuck up a lot of things, as we're seeing with what we're talking about with the state of California, as we're talking about that. There's so many other things in that one issue. Well, other than he won't allow anybody to rebuild their homes in the Palisades. And yes, I agree that the fact that the fire in LA went on for so fucking long is because they had no water. They're also relying on, they don't have enough water. They're also relying on getting water from, you know, Canada. Like, there's like a line that comes from Canada and other states, right? And like I was saying, when we were talking about the going through an ascension, that the water is an important thing. It's a resource on this planet, right? And so, yeah, they didn't have water in, you know, the fire hydrants and stuff, how all that's connected. When the Palisades were burning down, there was no fucking water. Like, they couldn't do anything about the fire because there was no water. There was no backup reserve of water there. And so it was completely dried out. And I do get that California is like kind of like a desert climate, but you know, California is freaking huge. It goes pretty close to Canada. Canada's got a lot of water. They have so much water, 3 to 4 times the amount than what they need. They were willing to send it down to California, but by the time that, you know, the dumbass governor decided to make that decision, the Palisades had already burnt the fuck down. So it's like, when you have people that are not willing to make a choice or make an action. And so I agree that, you know, what needs to happen is there needs to be a reserve of water there, or make a permanent deal with Canada to receive some water, whatever it is, you know, before you build. But I get that, you know, the reason that the Palisades are not going to ever get anything done on them is because the water issue, you know, you want to make sure that, like, after going through a tragedy like that, okay, you want to make sure that there's water, like, so that if anything else were to happen like that, that it would not go the way that it did before, right? And that's just being responsible. But I also feel like these people have the right to rebuild their homes. They're like basically homeless, and I guess they should just be grateful that they are wealthy, of the wealthy people that live in the Palisades, because that's like extreme wealth, you know, it's like Hollywood Hills type things. They should just be grateful that they're wealthy because they're going to be able to sustain themselves until they can get their houses built, or until they can get it signed off. But yeah, those are the things you want to be researching. I would be researching the population of wherever you're wanting to go. I would be researching the climate, and other important things like what's the economy like there? What is the job market like there? What is the work laws? Like in some states, it's a like right to work state where they can just fire you at any given moment for any reason if they don't like the way you cut your hair or something. And then other states, it's not like that. That would be things that I would look into. Long-term gain. Yeah. I also get that like whatever you give to the planet's going to be returned to you many times over. So you guys are here to receive. 5 of Cups. These people are going to be at a loss because it's already crying over spilt milk. These people are going to be, you know, oh, well, it's going to put them at a crossroads to where they're going to have to start to learn to live off of their own supply rather than yours. I feel like you guys are prophets and healers and teachers and, you know, you're putting to shame whatever this woke bullshit is. Because again, I think that whatever it started out with being woke used to mean being awakened, but now it doesn't even mean that anymore. It means something completely different. I feel like you're more on the agenda of helping the planet get to where it needs to be. This is why it's opening up for you to move to another part of the world or to change states, cities, whatever it is. All you need to do is do the research and then use your intuition, okay? And ask yourself, could I see myself living in this other type of climate for a long time? I feel like the desert would be hard to live in because it gets so hot, but it's doable as long as there's air conditioning. I don't think I could live in Florida. The way that it gets humid hot and regular hot together, my hair would curl. It's like dripping sweat. I don't like that. So I just know that there's, you know, think of it this way too, you guys. If you're thinking about changing your climate, where the climate where you're moving, when it's colder, you can always put more clothes on, but when it's hot, you can't take more clothes off. Like, think about it that way. 5 of Swords. These people were trying to put themselves first, okay, by taking from you. This is one reason, like if you're getting ready to walk away from a job that had you on salary and they weren't paying you enough, I feel like, you know, you're going to be paid back tenfold in this new position. This 2 of Wands energy is you guys having a creative idea, taking it to the future and being like, I'm going to invest in myself and in my own plans this time. I'm going to invest in moving in with this partner 2 states over or whatever. And just know that, you know, when you ask to be divinely led and when you start using the joy versus anger technique and you start asking questions, you're going to sometimes find out that you've been living in an area that's like, because again, the 1 to 10 compatibility technique is in the truth of God. You could be like, what is the compatibility of where I'm living at now? Oh, it's a 2. You mean a 2 out of 10? That's like an F. Like if you were to look at it as like a grade, that's like not compatible. And then I would just be looking at the different places and going, okay, I feel like an opportunity is going to arise somewhere where you're going to be able to actually thrive. And you'll be very protected, like energetically. Interesting. But yeah, I think probably one of the hardest places to live would be like the desert. But I also get that wherever you go, water flows. So, you know, if you do end up changing your location, there's going to be more water that comes in that place that you end up going than there ever would have been. Knight of Wands. This person from the past does not want you to move forward. And there's a couple people here, but again, I don't feel like they are your problem. They're their own problem. These people are going to end up going to court for something. Yeah, they're not taking responsibility for their own actions. This is why they're going to be put up under major judgment. Like, seriously. And that's kind of sad, but at the same time, what the fuck are these people thinking? That they can just use your social security number whenever they get ready. This is why anytime that you have sensitive documents, birth certificate, social security number, passport, get a lockbox, okay? Get a lockbox. Hide the lockbox key somewhere where nobody knows where it is. Because even if in a fire, the lock boxes that they sell at like Walmart, like I think I got one years ago for like 30 bucks. Those are like fireproof. So like no matter what, now I don't know if they're waterproof, but no matter what happens, those documents will be safe. Just make sure that this situation doesn't ever occur again by you not leaving your document. Like, don't be so trusting around people. I mean, this new relationship, you can trust this person's not going to be fucked up, but like, just be aware that you're basically learning how to protect yourself in new ways. Queen of Wands. Yeah, because I do get that you guys could be females. There could have been somebody that was trying to impersonate you, trying to be an imposter. Maybe they have imposter syndrome going on with them. Again, I get that this Queen of Wands is the mother to this Page of Wands energy. These people are all going down a wrong path. I don't know what to tell them. They need to like seriously do some introspection. These people are all going to be judged for this collaborative bullshit. And if they were living off of your intellectual property, these people need to get their own. Because again, what works for you may not work for somebody else, especially if they don't have the same mindset as you. The moon. Yeah, these people think that they can do anything with the moon. Anything with this moon magic shit. They're not going to be able to do anything. Like, seriously, these people have taken so many risks. So many risks. And the fact that all of the evidence points to them is pretty much a clear picture. I'm sorry, but all of the evidence points to these people, especially when it comes to identity fraud, identity theft, whatever, imposter, somebody impersonating you. Okay, it's all pointing to them. When you move out of the way, not that you're in the way right now, but when you move out of the way, you move into a new location, it's going to trip the system up hardcore. Because they're going to see, wait, this other person, they don't live in California anymore. They live in New Mexico or wherever. I'm just making up names, but like literally they're not even the same state as these people. What the fuck's going on here? Why is there two people trying to use the same social security number? That's like literally verbatim what I get is going to happen. You could like literally go down and apply for a new driver's license, you know, when you move to like a new place. And when you do that, they're going to like catch this person up. Empress in the reverse. Yo. So like I said, this Queen of Wands could be this Empress in the reverse. Maybe she's very attractive and very infertile, very perverted, extravagance, overspending, possible psychological problems, no personal growth, and loss of possessions. Like I said, whatever these people steal in your name, they're going to have to pay back to you because it belongs to you. Idiots. Seven of Pentacles. This is the turning of the tables where things are going to start going in your favor and they're going to stop going in these other people's favor. Because again, these people could have been being blessed verbatim off of just knowing you in the past. You have no idea how your blessings actually affect other people. Okay, what else do we need to know moving forward? I get that that's basically the majority of it is that do the research on wherever you're going. Make sure that it's a safe place. Like I said, New York is expensive. It's also overcrowded. It's also not very safe. Just make wise decisions. If you do get an opportunity to start a new company or start a new business or join somebody else's business or do something like that in a new area, do some research on the surrounding areas, like a place that you're going to live. I feel like as long as you do the research and do the joy versus anger technique and the 1 to 10 compatibility on wherever you're planning on going, this is going to work out just fine. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, because you may be getting ready to set down some real roots in a new direction. And where your children are going to be naturally abundant, whether you have these kids or not, you could already have children and you putting them in a new area could benefit them. And then if you don't have children, this could be part of your dream for the future is to have children. They're going to be very abundant people because they're going to take after you. You guys are very abundant people. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please. And thank you. Okay. What else do we need to know before going? The King of Wands. Yeah. All of these people are going to be swimming uphill. Which is okay. They can go against the grain, but it would just be easier if they swam downhill. I mean, in general, that would be easier. I get that this King of Wands person, They're wearing a mask. Okay, you're not making the wrong decision. If somebody's telling you, oh, you leaving is making the wrong decision, you leaving the family behind, this is not even your family. What the fuck? What the fuck? And if it is your family, they don't act like family. So again, I feel like you can have a family wherever you want to go. You don't have to stay tied to this energy. You don't have to keep dragging this energy around with you. That's what these people are doing. I feel like let them do whatever they're going to do. Let them say whatever they're going to say, but don't take it to heart and don't take it personally, because these people, they just want to be able to live off of you. And this is a lot of people trying. Look, the Empress in the reverse, the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Page of Wands. And this is how I felt when I was in the situation in the past with my ex. I was like, how many fucking people is my energy supporting with this shit? Literally, you could end up finding when you move that your energy was supporting all of these people. Yeah, that's too much. For one person, you should be having 100% of your fortune. These people did not do any work. They're not doing any work. They're not doing anything to like create these intellectual projects. I feel like they're stealing, and that's what they've been doing. And so what the effect is going to be of that is going to be public shame and dishonor for the illegal crimes that they've committed. And they're not going to look at it like that because, again, they've been able to live off of you somehow, and they're fighting over the profit that belongs to you. Shit does not even belong to them. This is why I feel like they're going to be really wishing that you would have stayed in the state or stayed local so that they could continue to have access to you. And when you move away from these people, or even if you just move your energy out of the way, they're not going to be able to live off of you anymore. And then you're going to realize, like, holy shit, when I have all 100% of my energy, I can like do everything that I want to do. I don't have to limit myself to being able to do one or two things. And it was because you were compromising your energy with these energy thieves. Yeah, these people are not getting away with anything. So I would just use your intuition, you guys. Go within, do the 1 to 10, 1 being lowest compatible, 10 being best compatible, and do some research before you make a commitment, okay? But know that you moving towards your greatest goals is going to be what brings you happiness, okay? So remember, the 2 books that are in the description box below are The Truth of God, Advanced Intuitive book. This book has got so many techniques in it, but I will tell you about the 3 that I use on a day-to-day basis. The first technique is the God technique, which raises you out of the ego, your lower self, so that you can look out through the eyes of your higher self and see things from a bigger picture, okay? And also, if you feel like somebody keeps contacting you or trying to heckle you, and you feel like things are going in a wrong direction, say, okay, I know that something's going on here. I know there's a transition of energy, but I do not want to be victimized by whatever this transition of energy is. Whoever is trying to put me in a fucked up position so that they can gain. This is the new age of Aquarius. Just keep affirming to yourself that, you know, you're not going to allow anybody to live off of you, because that's what these people are trying to do. Like literally, they're trying to live off of you. So yeah, so the God technique helps you raise above things so that you can see it from a higher perspective and then not be influenced by it. The joy versus anger gives you the ability to ask yes and no questions. And then the mind technique gives you the ability to use the joy versus anger technique to get rid of the thoughts and beliefs that are drawing in these types of people and situations. And I do get that it is a belief that you have that people are trying to live off of you, whether that's the truth or not. Like, just getting rid of that belief will change the situation. So, because it could be like this, like this situation's only been able to happen because your beliefs have supported it. But when you start to check yourself before you wreck yourself. When you start to check yourself before you wreck yourself and go, okay, well, that belief's not serving me. Like a belief that people can benefit off of me and I can't benefit off of myself. That's not a belief that's serving me. I don't think I want to continue to believe that. That's a really easy evaluation right there where you can go, okay, yeah, I don't really feel like I want to believe that anymore. And I'm going to release that. And so these people will only be able to do within the realm of what you believe that they can. Same thing with demons. They can only do what you believe they can do. Okay. So for those of you that do want to learn to read your own tarot cards, this is the second book. The link is in the description box below. It's called Visago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. And it's got different tarot card spreads for the major arcana cards. All you need to get started to learn to read cards for yourself and for others is the original Rider-Waite deck, RYDERWAITE. This deck, I would go ahead and invest and get the deck that's got the description on the cards, because it just makes it so much easier to read the cards, especially when you're learning. But this has different tarot card spreads for the major arcana cards, which are the major transitions. I'm going to read one of the positions. Let's see, I did the Hierophant last time. I'm going to read one of the positions for the Chariot. Okay, so let's see. Position 3, the Chariot Driver. This card can reveal the self that is in control of the destination and the vehicle that is being driven. This card position can show you how close you are to your final destination. Are you on the right path? Can a quicker way be made? All of those answers can show up in the card that you pull for this position. And then I want to read the Chariot Karma Wheel. This card position will show the wheel of karma that you are meant to fulfill in this lifetime. What karma you incarnated with can be revealed to you in the card that you pull for this position. If you have karmic debt, that may come through the card that is pulled for this position. If you pull the Wheel of Fortune tarot card for this position, it could indicate that you do not have a lot of bad karmic debt to work off. Yay, right? If you pull the Wheel of Fortune tarot card in the reverse, it can indicate that you do have a lot of karma to work off. And then the Chariot tarot card spells to remove obstacles, the Strength tarot card spells to get stronger. Then in the back of the book, I have a compendium of knowledge of what it means when the different major arcana cards come out next to each other, so that when you see that, you can go ding, 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 this means something, and then go to the back of the book and check it out. So I'm going to read from the Chariot. Okay, so often the Chariot is associated with a vehicle and fast-moving energy. This vehicle could be the Merkaba light vehicle, a vehicle, car, or a vehicle for which you have life. So like the vehicle, your body is a vehicle for your life, basically. The Chariot can also be related to the authorities or the police. If you pull the Chariot in the reverse, it could indicate that you are dealing with crooked, corrupt police officers. It can also mean that you are being illegally surveillanced by the authorities. If you pull the Chariot with the Justice tarot card, it could indicate that the justice system may be involved. If you pull the Chariot and then pull the Empress in the reverse, it could indicate that DCFS or Child Protective Services may be involved. If you pull the Chariot card and then pull the Devil card, it could indicate that an officer of law is possessed or under the influence of demons. If you pull the Chariot, then the Eight of Swords card, it could indicate that someone will be going to jail or prison in the future, especially if they stay on the same path. If you pull the Chariot and then the Eight of Cups, it could indicate that the authorities have to walk away from their investigation of you or whoever you're reading for. When you pull the Chariot and then the Four of Swords, it could indicate that you or someone near you will get injured in a car accident in the future. And it just keeps going and going and going, you guys. But you get the gist of it, okay? Check this book out. Those of you that want to learn to read cards for yourself and for others, I wrote this book because I wish that I would have had it available to me when I was learning to read cards, because I didn't even start with the original Rider-Waite. If you learn the original Rider-Waite, you can go to any other secondary card like this Twin Flame Tarot, and you'll be able to understand the cards and the interpretations. So thank you guys for making it to the ending of this reading. I love you so much. Please like this video, you guys. Make sure that you are subscribed. Tap that notification bell, okay? I love you, I love you, I love you. Peace be with you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Make sure you hype the video, share it, tell other people about it, okay? All right, you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you guys. Bye.